Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
All righty, we've got ourselves a rainy Wednesday, Hump Day edition going on out there. Hope if you're on the road, listening, watching on an app, pay attention to your driving. We're glad you're on our app and listening and watching, but pay attention to your driving. It is a mess in the Jacksonville, Duval proper area as we welcome you to the program. Terry Norvelle here. Hope to hook up with Patrick Young in a little bit, depending on Patrick's schedule and his travel. Boy, I hope he's not caught out there in this rain as well. Brent Beaird comes up 5 or 5:30, not positive when Brent can free up his schedule, but we will hear from Brent Beaird and talk some college sports, college football, college basketball, college baseball as we do. I want to welcome Ben Dobbins producing today. The next couple of days, we've got Casey Kurtz taking a few days off. And Ben, I'm not seeing a screen in here. I don't know if we're kick it. Just kick it. It's called a technical tap. Just kick it. Yeah. I see kind of a frozen Action Sports Jax. Do you think we're on though? We're on. Okay, we're fired up here. Doing a little radio is what we're doing right now. How about that? Little radio. And they actually, I think we had a little trouble with this yesterday or the other day, Monday when I was in. Had to turn it on, so maybe we'll get one of the engineers, one of the smart people, Ben. That's not us. We'll get one of the smart people to come over, but we'll do some radio. How about that? Before we, or as we wait to get this fixed. A lot to cover today. We'll lead off with some tennis. Kind of bad news, sad news. Ben Shelton got knocked out of Wimbledon earlier today. Ben Shelton, the former Gator star tennis player, helped Florida win the men's national championship in tennis a 3 years ago. Really climbing the ladder. Ben Shelton, his biggest problem is he was going against the number one player in the world, Sinner today. Shelton loses to Sinner, the number one player, number one seed, in straight sets today, 7-6, 6-4, 6-4. So Shelton, the former Gator, is knocked out of Wimbledon, and that was the quarterfinals, we said, right, today? Quarterfinals. And Ben and I were talking before we fired up the show. Shelton is in a tough position because there are a lot of great tennis players in the world. Duh, we all know that. But Shelton, he's basically the same age as Sinner, the number one player in the world, and Alcaraz. And Alcaraz knocked Shelton out the last major, right? He knocked him out of the French. The problem is those two great players are basically the same age as Shelton. So you can sit there and be the third best player in the world. Nothing wrong with that. But Shelton's going to have something happen. He's going to have to either improve his game or he's not going to be able to climb these guys probably. They're all the same age. And it's not like he can wait these guys out, and they're 4, 5, 6 years older than him. So, yeah, Shelton in a little tough spot. But a lot of times competition makes you better. A lot of times competition makes you better. These guys are all, 22, 23 years old. So there is room to improve. I bring that up. It's kind of like, the guy that outruns you in a 100-meter dash all the time. A lot of times when that guy runs a world record, you may finish second, but you may have broken the world record as well. A lot of times competition pulls you up. But, yes, the former Gator Ben Shelton knocked out of Wimbledon today earlier in straight sets. So Sinner will go on and play Djokovic. How about that? 24-time Grand Slam champion. And he's at the end of his career. Alcaraz, obviously, still alive as well. I don't know if you know a lot about tennis. Obviously, it's not one of our marquee sports that we follow here. But, of course, we do follow the big ones. Is Sheldon the best American male player going? Fritz is a little better? Yeah. Do we know the seeding for Fritz? And he's 5, okay, because Sheldon's 10-ish, right? He's 10, yeah. Okay, yeah. So he's not the best American, but he's in the handful. He's in the handful of the former Gators. So I just want to make sure we got that out there. That's a big deal when a local product, and we'll call Ben Sheldon a local product as a Gator, when they make a deep run in Wimbledon. Man, breakfast with Wimbledon used to be so big. Oh, it was so big in the 70s and 80s, especially when tennis really had a following. It had a bunch of good players with a lot of personality, and that's what they call it. They still call it breakfast at Wimbledon. The final, the men play at 9 o'clock on Sunday every Wimbledon, 9 o'clock Eastern time, and it was a big deal. It was a really, really big deal. I can remember as a family, we'd be home in the 80s and 70s watching the damn thing. And I mean, tennis, men's tennis, it goes 5 sets. I mean, you'll give away 4.5 hours if you're not careful. You'll push 5 hours. And but that was back. Casey and I talked about it. Men's tennis had so many personalities and great players when I followed it as a youngster at home. And there were only 4 TV channels. You only had 4 channels, 4 networks. So on a Sunday morning, of course you're going to watch Wimbledon, the finals. But man, the personalities, the Bjorn Borgs and the Jimmy Connors and the John McEnroes, and you just go on and on and on. And there were a bunch of guys like golf and like tennis now that you had a bunch of flare-up guys too. You would have guys that kind of like Ben Sheldon right now, guys between 5 and 10, they'd flare up. They wouldn't be 1 or 2 in the world, but they had enough game on a special day when they had their serve or they had their backhand ripping, like a baseball pitcher. Your number 3 or number 4 starter, every few times to the mound, he's got every pitch in the book, and he feels great, and he's as good as an ace and can beat you. So, all right, let off with some tennis there. Other things we want to get to, obviously every day we can do this, and probably will on the show. Major League Baseball news and notes. So much going on in Major League Baseball as we are, what is today, Wednesday? We've got a few games. I'll get to some games that are in progress. We'll go over some scores here in a minute, but we are 4 or 5 days away from the break. The All-Star game, the All-Star festivities are Monday night, Home Run Derby and the like. And then Tuesday, a week from yesterday, is the All-Star game. Then everybody takes Wednesday, Thursday off, and next Friday starts the second half. Ben, it's not exactly mathematically the second half. It never falls that way. They'll once this Sunday rolls around, everybody will play their final game. Major League Baseball plays their final game before the All-Star break. Every team will be right around 95, 96, 97, 98 games. It's never 81. It's always more. You always play about 15 games more than halfway. And I think the players appreciate that as well. When you come back, you've got roughly 62 games left. You've played roughly 100, and you've got, so we're going to turn around, and it's going to be a sprint to the finish. We'll go over some of the standings in Major League Baseball, a lot of news and notes, and this happens in baseball more than anything, because any sport, because of all the games. When you play so many games, you're going to have a lot of crazy stats and records. There was something that happened in baseball yesterday that was crazy, I thought. I've never heard of this. And we'll get back to news and notes, but I want to throw this out, Ben. Yesterday, let me get it right. Yesterday, Major League Baseball, full slate of games. The Athletics, actually they're playing the Braves. The Braves are at the Athletics right now. Bottom of the first. All right, Ben, you with me? Bottom of the first. You had the Athletics coming to bat, bottom of the first. Their first batter steps to the plate, bottom of the first inning. The very first pitch thrown to their first batter in the first inning, the guy hits an inside the park home run. You with me, Ben? First batter of the game. I know they're working hard. So I'm going to call that an inside the park walk-on home run. He started the game with a home run inside the park. I don't know if that's ever happened. That's crazy, number one. Number two, Ben, later yesterday, San Francisco, the Giants are playing. They're in an extra inning game. They're in the 16th inning. They're the home team. They have a player hit a walk-off inside the park home run. How does that happen? Same day, you had first inning, first batter, walk-on home run, I'm going to call it, And then the same day, another game, you had the last batter of a 16-inning game walk off an inside the park home run. Not a home run over the fence, Ben. Inside the park. You know how rare that is? How in the world does that happen? We got a lot of home run news to talk about as well. College sports news and notes, got some good stuff. Brent Beaird will join us. We'll talk about a couple of injuries in sports. We will not have Dr. Bates today. He is on a big vacation. He certainly deserves it. Dr. Bates wanted to call in from the Atlanta airport. I said, Doc, go enjoy your vacation. But we may talk about some injuries that we may throw his way, including there's some stuff coming out about DJ Lagway. Florida quarterback DJ Lagway, why he did not throw at all, possibly. And I want to give my buddy Chris Doring a lot of credit, because Doring on one of his shows, I think, was the first guy that started talking about it. But we might have a reason why DJ Lagway was not passing the football during camp. Is that Patrick? Oh,
yeah,
I heard somebody. Hello, Mr. Patrick Young.
I like to listen until you call me in.
Well, sometimes I don't know. I can see. Sometimes I see your pretty face, and then you're not. Sometimes we can't see anything. But I heard you, Patrick. I heard you
Rustling around.
Yeah. So we're doing some radio right now. It feels like.
Terry, it is.
Oh.
It is rain. I got stuck in the UPS store today, Terry.
I bet you did, man. When I was driving to the station, man, that was a dark, nasty storm. Is it still around?
It's lightened up.
Woo.
Still, I mean, there's a lot of rain on the water. I had to leave. I had to get to the show. So I said, all right, it's just water.
Oh.
Do you remember when we were at where were we at? We were at Fourscore, one of our former sponsors. And
yeah, I remember that.
It was torrential. And you ran out there like a trooper and helped me out, man. I really appreciate that, because
I remember it was pouring.
I probably would have stayed in Fourscore for a long time until it came down.
Yeah. So you got trapped in a UPS store today?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, sometimes you have when it's coming down that hard.
This is something hilarious. So I'm stuck in the UPS store. I'm waiting. This mom, she's a mom. She has two young boys. One's 4, one's 1.
Right.
And the boys they're boys. You know, you can't get them to stay still.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Sir, could you please just watch my boy? I'm gonna try to get my car, and then I'll come and bring it closer." And I said, "Yeah, I'll watch your boys for sure." Names were Success and Samuel. And the thing about kids, man, they love those kids were just jumping on my lap. Like, I'm like, who, without even knowing me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, the pure innocence of children is just so amazing.
I agree with that, man.
Those kids probably would have called me their best friend. I just watched them for 5 minutes, and yeah, they blessed me. I took some pictures with them. The
nice.
boys are so sweet. They're energetic. And as soon as Mama walked out the door to go get her car, that 1-year-old started crying.
Oh no!
I said, "She'll be right back. Don't worry, buddy. Don't worry."
Oh no! Hey, you're right.
Man.
You're right about the innocence of kids. I like when you're out somewhere and you could tell maybe a group of kids and they may not know each other. Maybe it's a trip or something. They maybe it's a restaurant or something. There's 2 or 3 on this side and 2. It'll take kids about 5 seconds. Hey, what's your name? Joe. What's your name? Steve. Boom, they're playing. They've never met.
Friends playing.
And they're friends
like
and
that.
They're playing just like that. Just like that.
Don't care about what you look like or where
No,
you're going.
no.
It's not even in their brain to think about that stuff before
Yeah.
they're like, "All right, you want to play?"
Yeah. Which makes it sad when people have bias and stuff. That had to be coached into them somewhere, you know? Had to be right? It had to be coached into them being a mean person, you know? Everybody's nice, I think, when we're born. I think we're just generally nice, aren't we?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, you got to teach kids, manners.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah.
I do think we have an innate in us, like, you could be away from society. You know it's wrong to kill somebody.
Sure.
You know that's
Sure.
so. But I think for the most part, man, you keep it in the innocence of kids, man. They're gonna be kind.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Nice. They just want to be interaction. That's stimulation.
Well, that's good. You had a fun day with a couple, and hopefully made a couple kids smile. There's nothing wrong with that, man.
I hope so.
Nothing wrong with
smile.
Yeah,
They made me smile. So
yeah, and
selfishly, they served me.
yeah, and your little one is not so little. My little one's not so little. I miss those days too. And I know when they're little, and you're, when they're really little and you're changing diapers and all, and you got to have a bag, and it's a lot of work. But all those stages, I kind of miss a little bit. And I love where my daughter's at now, but I miss those stages. And you were the world to the kid, and holding hands and going to the store, and just doing nothing but doing a lot. It was a lot of fun.
Yep, exactly.
A lot of fun. Hey, kind of bad news for the Gators today. Ben Sheldon went down in 3 sets. He gave it a pretty good run, but he faced the number 1 seeded player, Center, and Shelton gets knocked out of Wimbledon 7-6, 6-4, 6-4. He's Ben was telling me he's like 10th in the world right now. He's up to 10th. And
yeah, he's 10th. He's great, man. He's really
and
good.
Ben thinks he'll move up a few spots because a couple guys ahead of him lost. But he's got. Go ahead.
He's been ranked higher at some point.
Has he?
Sure.
Has he?
But Center and Alcaraz, man, and those guys are always 1 and 2. Center and Alcaraz. And
we looked them up, and the problem Shelton has is they're all 3 about the same age. So that's and so that tells you either Shelton's got to pick his game up, or he may just sit, forever behind those guys. But doesn't competition sometime improve your game? I think it does.
It should. Oh man, I'm glad you brought that up. One of the ultimate competitive stories I saw was during the Olympics. It was 2 female athletes. One's Australian, one's American. So obviously, I'm cheering for the American girl. And the events they both had the same events. And this other girl, and again, Olympics, best in the world.
Yeah.
Like number 1 and number 2. But the American girl, she just can't beat the Australian girl.
Yeah.
It's just one person in the world.
How about that?
Stopping her. Like the number of silver medals this girl has in the worlds and all these other things, she just can't. And they're always close races.
Yeah.
Like her hand touches the other girl's hand. Like it's that fast.
Yeah.
So how about that, man? The mental dynamic, of that, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch. Can Shelton? Will he? Because sometime if you're in Shelton's spot, he's 23. If the 2 guys that are better than him right now, if they're 30 and 29, well, they're going to retire probably. You're going to have 5 or 6 year run, But, man, Ben, what do we say? They're 22, 23, all of them, all 3 of them.
Yeah, Ben, his strength, his serve, like he's got that 130, 140 mile per hour serve. But, tennis is just such a long. I mean, I'm sure he got outed in 3 sets. Yeah,
it was 3. Yeah, 3 sets.
Okay, yeah, that's tough. I mean, just 6'5", it could be 6'5", 6'5", 6'5". Like you're literally right there.
Yeah, I mean here are the scores: 7-6. So obviously that went in a tiebreaker. 7-6, 6-4, 6-4. So there was no 6-2, 6-love, anything like that. And that's just a 6-4, right? Am I right in tennis? If you lose 6-4, you needed just one more break, right? You got.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got broke.
Then it would have gone to
tie
break. 7-6. Yeah.
Yeah. So he played well, but not quite good enough. Pat, we had we're gonna have some news and notes from baseball obviously later today. We got a lot of baseball. It's always baseball season now. But man, just when you think you've seen everything, you haven't seen everything in sports, especially baseball. How about this yesterday, Patrick? Yesterday in Major League Baseball, I was telling Ben about this a moment ago. The Athletics were playing a game. They were the home team against the Braves. The Athletics come to bat in the bottom of the first inning, Patrick. The leadoff batter for the Athletics in the first inning, the first pitch he saw, he hits an inside the park home run. Okay? So I called that.
We need video. We need to show, like when we tell fans this, we need to show them like how did this happen? Because it's so rare to ever see it in the park home run.
Well, so this guy in this game yesterday hits and I'm calling it a walk-on, inside the park walk-on. It was a first batter. How about this? Last night, later in the day, the San Francisco Giants, in the 16th inning, they're the home team, the last batter they sent up to the plate hits a walk-off inside the park home run. two inside the park home runs. One was the first batter of the first inning, and one was the last batter of the game. How does that happen? How does that happen?
Did you see where those balls were hit?
I saw
I always think, I guess the perfect places for a triple.
Yeah.
You know, when you get a good one on the line or you hit that gap.
Yeah.
And you get a real lucky bounce. Maybe it bounces off the wall.
Yeah.
The outfielder overruns it, gets a great bounce.
Falls down. Sometimes they fall down.
So I'm just curious how that played out, because
I saw
in softball, you never see that. It never happens in softball. A walk inside the home run.
Yeah.
Happen.
I saw the San Francisco one, the one that went in the 16th inning. And San Francisco, if you remember their park they play in, they've got a couple weird angles. Like in center field, it comes to a point kind of in one of the power alleys. That ball was a drive. The guy that hit it, it was a drive, and the two outfielders were running toward the gap, and it hit that angled wall, and it shot away from him, is how it happened.
Yep.
It shot 40 feet away, and the guy was booking it, you know. So, and I didn't see the first inning for the Athletics, but yeah, that's real
but, you know,
rare.
Another way it happens too, Terry. Remember, gosh, who was that? That was Coastal and Tennessee. That great, or maybe it was the game before. It was Arkansas. It was Arkansas. That line drive, I mean, it came off the bat.
Yes.
At 115 miles per hour. So if you don't take a good read off of it immediately, remember the kid, he took a step back, then he tried to go back and get it, then he slipped.
Yes.
And I mean, is that an error?
It's a tough call. That's a tough call with the score.
That ball, that's gonna be a triple at minimum.
Minimum, yeah, because I mean he's flat on his belly, and he's a corner outfielder, so the center fielder's got a long way to go if he's going to get that ball. Long way to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But man, I don't know if I've ever seen in the same day, and especially a first inning and a last inning. It's crazy. Different games.
If we had ChatGPT added up, I would say, what's the average of inside the park home runs per season the last 30 years? In
the majors, I would guess, and now you got to understand, Major League, there's so many games. So there's so many. I mean, you got, 30 teams, right? 30 teams all playing 162 games. That's why in the majors, they're the best players in the world. I get it. But you see all kind of great catches because they have so many opportunities. They play 5 and 6 games a week for 6 months, man. That's a lot of batted balls to make catches and make errors on. Hey, Pat, did I understand? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say
how much? What is a major league with so many games? Like, what does a practice actually look like?
A practice?
Yeah.
I don't.
Obviously, there's a lot of hitting.
I obviously have never played in Major League Baseball. I think most the players will, let's say they play 7:05 first pitch tonight. Generally, the players will get to the park, 5-ish hours ahead of time. Right? I mean, they're at the park all day, and all. I mean, that's their job. I don't think you've got as much total team formal practice as like the home team. I think goes early, and some guys may asked to take some ground balls and asked to take some extra BP, but they have BP every day and they take kind of infield. But I think it's a lot of individual work too once that season gets going.
Right.
Long season, man. And if you're
and those guys get the shortest, one of the shortest off seasons of all sports. Them in soccer.
Yeah. Oh, that is tough. Hey, did I understand you watched a little of pro softball last night? Did you watch any of that?
Yeah, I did. I watched a good amount, and it was ironic. Yeah, man. Lawrence, that she got a hit first inning. I didn't watch the whole game.
Nor did I. I watched some of it.
I got tired. So, but it was good, man. It was good. Good sport. Like to your point, Terry. Like, I think for the college softball sports fan or people that are getting into it, you often sometimes wonder, I wonder what happened to so-and-so. She was so unbelievable.
Yeah.
And now you get a chance. Like, man, I wish Jocelyn Alo, she might go down as the greatest hitter.
She smashed the ball
in softball history. Dude, she was her batting average was above 500. She had an above 500 batting average and
That's
has
crazy.
the record for the most home runs in the season. But like, no path for her to continue on.
Yeah.
In her professional, and the thing that she's become, and they say the 10,000 hour rule when you become an expert.
Yeah.
She put all those hours in, and then like no
Yeah.
reward, and that's why another on the side of NIL, these girls getting some money now.
Yeah.
And absolutely pro for these this softball league that I hope at minimum, Terry, like if these girls are making each $100,000, I hope they make way more than that each.
Yeah.
But $100,000, you feel good about, like, that's your career. You can keep pursuing
absolutely.
that. Like, you can have savings. You don't have to struggle.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have, I need to go. I need to go and apply for dental hygienist school or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I love that can truly be their career for
Yeah.
as long as they want, and financially being able to. I think within the next 5-6 years, I hope we can get there.
And I would also think that, and I know people that don't know what we're talking about or don't care. I'm telling you, just give it a watch. It's a fun league. But if women's professional softball if this league doesn't make it, it probably will never make it. I mean, it's number one. You got the Major League Baseball has bought into it. Okay, and Patrick, you watched the game last night. I've watched several games this year, not all of them, but I've watched 5 or 6 innings. I'll flip back and forth. Everything about it is professional. It looks great. The level of play. These girls are good at what they do. They're good.
Yep, they're really good.
You know what I mean? The production value. Everything looks right. It's professionally shot, and the announcers are professionals, and everything about this is polished, isn't it? I mean, it's an impressive product. It really is.
I truly love, because I didn't even think about it, the avenue for assistant coach, because like Coach Walton's right.
Yeah.
Like, head softball coaches don't really get fired.
Yeah.
Like, unless they retire, they're god awful or something like that. But for the most part, that doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
So for these assistant coaches, they get to take these opportunities to go and lead a team as well, which can prepare them for the future as well. Which is and yeah, to your point, like we've watched things on television that they've tried to do, professional and make it look a certain way, and you put it on, you're like, what is this?
Yeah, a lot of these, and not just softball, but all these some of these pro leagues that popped up and they go under, they try and kind of junk up the game, and you're like, no, just don't put any of these crazy new rules. I don't need a second fence for a 2-run homer. Just play the game. Just play the game. Don't put all these little weird rules. Play the game. But I think this thing's got a chance. And I like what you said a minute ago. I mean, there are girls that I watched in the College World Series the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, I recognize their names. I mean, Montana Fouts. Right. You talked about the girl from Oklahoma. Landry, the cute blonde-headed girl for Oklahoma that everybody liked pitching. She's on one of the teams last night. She was on one of the teams.
I still like watching. Hey, I still like watching her play.
Yes. Yeah. But it's fun.
That librarian look,
Yeah. Hey, how about Dr. Bates, man? Is he the best guy in the world? Obviously, we do our Wednesday sports medicine segment sponsored by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. He's on his European vacation. He goes this time every year, right? He and his family. Did you see what he was sending? He was like, Terry, I'll probably be in the Atlanta airport so I could call in. I said, don't call in. You're on vacation, Dr. Bates.
That, though. I appreciate that.
Isn't that cool?
He's the best.
He's a good dude, but he wanted to call in from Atlanta's airport. I'm like, you're not calling in. Go on vacation, my main man. All right, Pat, let's take a quick break here. We've burnt through 30 minutes, had a good conversation. If you need to get where you're going, feel free. I know it's messy out there. Okay, be careful.
I stopped so I can actually put so Karen out there doesn't say,
the Karen.
You shouldn't be driving and look, seatbelt off because I'm stopped. I'm parked.
And talking and everything. So, all right, let's take a break here. 30 minutes in. We've got a long way to go. We'll take it to 6 o'clock. Brent Beaird checking in with us sometime in the 5 o'clock hour, I believe. We've got a lot of stuff. Want to talk a little Jaguars on the other side. If you guys don't mind, we'll do that. And a whole lot more. Patrick Young, Terry Norvelle, and you on the other side. It is the Young and Norvelle Show on Action Sports Jax.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jags PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jags PAL.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
All right, I think we're back. Off we go here. We're live in studio. Terry Norvelle. We got Patrick Young hooked up. We've got Brent Beaird coming in the second hour. I think he's having a little trouble with this weather out there in the greater Jacksonville area. Please be safe out there. As always, excuse me, got a little summer thing working here. I've had Ben Dobbins producing. Pat, if you're still there, it looks like your girl Angel Reese is coming out with her own signature shoe. We'll try to get Pat back on. Ben, I guess maybe I can get this for you for Christmas present. An Angel Reese shoe. You know Angel Reese, right? Pat, Angel Reese got a new shoe she's debuting today through Reebok. The Angel Reese 1, AR1 they're calling it, I think, Pat.
I just hope that
What's your...
Angel Reese can I'm trying to be very sensitive in how I want to say this because she is an elite. She's a great basketball player. I just think her brand,
Yeah.
in terms of the product she puts out, her personality, etc., sometimes it's quite off-putting.
It is.
And I would hate to see, but maybe it's what she needs, a reality check of like, no one's buying your shoes.
Yeah.
Improve your character. Be
Was it
nice to people.
wasn't it the Ball boys, Lonzo Ball and them? They came out with a shoe nobody bought. Remember their dad?
Yeah.
Nobody bought.
It actually
like $800 or something.
I want to say, I think they actually made a profit. Not the kind of profit where you're like, okay, this was worth our time.
Yeah.
But the kind of profit where, like with us doing gambling last year, or with our play money.
Yeah.
All that effort just to win $10.
Yeah. Woo. Tough. That was tough. But it looks like the Angel Reese and Reebok debut the Reebok Angel Reese 1. Pat, let me ask you. We see on social, and I think she gets a little unfairly criticized. We see mostly her bad plays, but man, she looks clumsy. Is it just me? She looks clumsy out there on the court.
She's not, she's not a graceful moving athlete, which is fine. You don't have to be graceful moving to be really good at what you do.
I mean, look at Jokic.
It's just like, yeah, exactly. She's more of a kind of, and I hate to use this word, but she's not like this word doesn't fit her exactly, but she's kind of like a brute.
Yeah.
On the side of women's basketball, where she imposes her physical ability, her size, and then she does. Look, I don't care what people say about her rebounding in terms of her you got to have the mindset to go back and get your ball
over
and over again. Like, hey, so what I missed? That's really what so what I missed. I said, you want, like, the biggest thing, wins and losses are really what people should measure you by, not just stats. So I don't know how her team's doing this year. I haven't kept up.
I'll tell you, I don't follow the WNBA, but at times, as you know, just being a sports guy, it gets shoved down your throat, so you can't not see a little bit of it. The main thing that turns me off, besides, I don't think they're great skilled players at the game of basketball. I just have trouble. But the main thing, that league right now, the WNBA, it's such an angry league. It seems like everybody on the court is punching and pushing and kicking. It's an angry league to me, and I don't think people like that. It's constantly there's arguing and fighting and pushing and kicking. And am I looking at this wrong? Every time I watch it, it's just angry, Patrick. Angry.
Well, I think, you just somebody. I hate when someone they call when I'm in the middle of the show. Throw a train of thought. Positive here, Caitlin Clark and her influence got them to get that new. I got it. That ESPN deal.
Yeah.
To have those games on. So Christine Brennan, well-known USA Today columnist.
Sure.
Her book's coming out soon, and the coverage of Caitlin Clark and the Fever.
Yeah.
I mean, she absolutely bashes the WNBA commissioner.
Over what?
Over just them, over the league, over how it's being run.
Yeah.
Over the treatment of not to say I need and I'll try to find the exact quote when I saw the article, but
okay,
it was just like kind of shameful because you look at this league that's trying to grow, and I think you said it all the time. The WNBA seems to be getting in its own way.
I agree with it. Yep.
Growth. Yeah, and things are different now because of social media. You really can have their league can go viral in a sense.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have to take them the same amount of time for the league to become profitable as the NBA did. It took the NBA a while. They didn't have social media.
I agree.
They had to find, and they had to switch their method, their strategy. All right, let's get behind players and personalities. Matching and Bird.
Yeah.
History.
Yeah.
You got players. They got the personalities. They have great athletes there. Not every team, obviously. But I feel as though their strategy for how they can maximize viewership and revenue, et cetera, they're not doing it in a way that's more productive. You know, Caitlin, Angel, play on that. Use it. Don't make it about drama.
Yeah.
Make
Too
it about
angry.
competition.
I mean, I get it. I get it. Sports, you know, you're going to have, guys' tempers and young lady temper. I get all that. And there's supposed to be a little bit of pushing and shoving and barking at each other and barking at the opponent and barking at the ref. I get it. It seems like every second in the WNBA, somebody's pushing somebody. They're just angry.
See, I know you guys saw when what's her name? The Sophie Cunningham.
Yeah, the player.
Oh, yeah, like that. You can't blame her for how she responded when you see how Caitlin was fouled. But
Yeah.
She gained like 400,000 followers
For sticking up for her, right?
on her social media after that.
Yeah, for sticking up for it. I was trying to find this Angel Reese shoe and see what the price tag is. I can't find it yet, so I'm curious what they're selling the shoe for.
I love when these athletes get shoes and they make them like super affordable.
Yeah.
Their shoes are like $50 or $60.
Yeah, I think that
like
was that Lonzo Ball shoe. I think was very expensive too. It just debuted like at $300 or something. And people were like, "What? Way expensive. Way
Terry,
expensive."
what you know about these? What you know about this guy, Terry?
I can't see. I
got some stamps.
I don't have my. We don't have vision yet. We're having a issue. No, we're having an issue in the studio. What do you got?
Well, I'm doing some stamps, or I got some stamps. I'm sending some thank you notes.
Nice.
And there you are. There we are. I think that's probably what happened. It's the good old Hank Aaron.
Oh, the hammer.
Some good old
nice.
Hammer. Got some stamps of the hammer. How could I not?
Wow, that's great, man. And the All-Star game is in Atlanta, where Hammer hit a lot of his home runs. A lot of his home runs in Atlanta. The hammer. Pat, got some Jaguar talk real quick. I think it was the ESPN this morning. There was an article. I can't remember. I surf a lot in the morning. There was a kind of a power poll, and they took they took the combined strength of each team in the NFL: wide receiver, tight end, running back. So wide receiver, tight end, running back. Jaguars on this list checked in at 18. Now, that's not terrible, but when you consider they were 18 after drafting Travis Hunter as a quasi-receiver, that's not great, I don't think. The year before they were 16, and 2 years ago they were ranked as 9. So right now, this poll is not real high on the Jaguars' combined wide receiver, tight end, running back room.
Probably 2 years ago, that would have been Etienne was playing solid and Ingram was solid and
Kirk was.
Gosh, man, Evan Ingram. I wonder if last year is it just he didn't perform well because he was injured so much, or did he really have that much of a drop off from 1 year?
Yeah,
like to see what happens for him when he in his next. Well, I'm not sure where he's at now, but like to see what happens with his career because you see guys like Zach Ertz. I thought he went to Arizona for his career to just like, all right, that's it. And then he goes over to Washington, and now he's the man.
Yeah. I think one thing that Evan Ingram, when he was here, was very consistent. He caught the ball. He caught a lot of balls. Hell, he had that 116. He had 116 or whatever that 1 year. If I remember Ingram, though, I think the one problem some coaching staffs would have, he caught a lot of balls sideline to sideline. He didn't catch a lot of balls going down the seam like the big-time tight ends catch deep shots. He wasn't a deep shot tight end. You know, he was a little sideline to side and caught everything, but he didn't catch.
You remember this was last season, 2 seasons ago, when San Francisco wasn't playing great, and they came to Jacksonville. They ran a little.
I remember it.
Little swing route for George Kittle. And our boy Foye Aluakon, he got burned for 75.
Yeah, that was right down the seam too, wasn't it? Right down the hash marks.
I don't think we ever really had opportunities like that for Evan Ingram, which is
maybe.
You want to think
Maybe.
With the right offensive mind and his athleticism, why couldn't he be the same as a George Kittle?
Yeah, and he's also. I think he also.
Coaching.
I think he also turned 31, so maybe this new staff might have thought the guy's getting a little long in the tooth. You know, I don't know. He was consistent. He just didn't make big plays. Big plays. Pat, let me throw this out. Speaking of Travis Hunter, I wrote this down today, and I want to just kind of throw it out. What happens? What's the perception? What if Travis Hunter, this coming NFL football season, what if Travis Hunter plays both positions to a degree, right? We don't know the percentage yet, but I'm going to say he's going to play both positions, cornerback and wide receiver. Patrick Young, what if he plays all year, the majority of the games? What if Travis Hunter is a solid receiver, and he's also a solid cornerback? Not the best in the league, not the worst in the league. He's a good, solid receiver, and he's a good, solid cornerback. Is that enough for what they gave up, whereas you could have gotten one position solid at 5 and not sold the farm? Would that be okay if he's just not a superstar at either? I don't think it would be okay. He's almost got to be a superstar at 1, doesn't he? Tough.
Would you say? I would say him having a BTJ type rookie season, I think you can say, all right, I guess we figured something out here. I guess if he did something right.
If he has a Thomas type season at receiver, I think you're fine. I think that's better than solid. So I think that's. But what if he has?
No.
Go ahead.
You bring up something good though, because I'm going to ask you this now, Terry. So if you're in the Jaguars front office, and to your point, solid offense, solid, okay, like not 1,000 yards, not 10 interceptions, but like then where's your brain go? All right, well, obviously he can play both, but would it be more beneficial for us to have him do all one side or the other?
Absolutely.
After a 1 year sample size. I think, most of the time you don't take sample size that small, but when you're talking about a short football life, I think you go year by year, and maybe you do make a long-term decision after year 1 of what he actually needs to look. And shoot, he might. What if he's elite receiver, and let's say he's like an 85 out of 100 cornerback. Okay. I mean, shoot.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke.
But here's a spinoff of what you just said. Let's say he becomes really good at one of the two positions, and he's solid at the other one. Was getting a really good receiver worth giving up everything you gave up? You could have gotten a really good receiver at 5 and had a first pick next year.
Yeah.
See, my biggest concern for the Jaguars. Here's my biggest concern for the Jaguars, and it's 2 or 3-fold, and I want you to speak to it. I think they're looking at a 6 or 7 win season. I think when the season ends, 2025 season ends.
Terry, that's rough.
I mean, they were a 4-win team last year. I think they still have a lot of holes. I think this team has a lot of holes. My biggest concern for the Jaguars at the end of this upcoming season. Let's say they're 7-10. 7-10 NFL teams have holes to fill. Well, this time next year, all the excitement and all is going to be, well, wait a minute, how are we going to get any better? We don't have a first pick. What are you going to do this time next year if you still got, I think they're going to have a bunch of holes and no way to fill them. There isn't going to be a miraculous first-round pick. They don't have a first-round pick. They sold the farm.
They're going to have to hit a home run. If that happens, have to hit a home run in free agency. I mean, and when I say home run, that's probably overpaying. And that's assuming, I mean, you got to almost be trying to steal a great player that's still in their prime.
When have they ever hit a grand slam home run in free agency?
I know.
And will they?
That's like.
And by the way,
that's like trying to get TJ Watt next year.
And by the way, I keep bringing this up and people fight me off. I don't know the whole salary cap issue. At some point, they're not going to have a lot of money. I mean, on this team, you're not supposed to have multiple first-round picks and then multiple number 1 overall picks and then the number 2 overall pick. That's going to end up eating up your money at some point, isn't it?
What is? Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Going back, and I know we discussed it when it happened. Was the forethought of the Jags saying, let's pay Trevor right now, so we got him at $10 million cheaper per year?
I think so,
whatever. Yeah. Was that a good forethought versus, all right, let's keep him 1 year on his rookie option. If he plays well, we guarantee him. I don't know how Trevor would take that, but he knows the pressure. He's got to play well this year.
Yeah.
He'd love for him to be a 4,000-yard guy this season. But then it's like, dang, did we just shoot ourselves? And we can't blame this front office because they didn't do that deal.
They didn't do it, yeah.
But they didn't. Is that like? Do we look back and say, man, if they would have just? Because then Trevor, even if he plays well, maybe you can move things around.
Yeah.
Give him more pieces that he needs. Offense, defense, special teams. I don't know. I just thought that was so.
Yeah.
That was too early.
I'm sitting here racking my brain.
So much.
I'm racking my brain trying to answer your question. Why would that previous regime do that extension like that earlier than it had to be done? I wonder if they were sitting around and they were thinking, gosh darn, I hope he throws for 50 touchdowns, but if he does, we got to pay him for 50 touchdowns. Let's pay him and hope he gets to that you know what I mean? Maybe they thought they might have thought 2 years ago, this guy's about to explode so big that we're going to have to pay him on a 45 touchdown season, which would be good, but you got to pay for that.
And honestly, if you drafted Trevor at 1, I don't blame him for thinking that
way.
For
thinking, yeah.
You're thinking he's going to do that, but just injuries, Urban Meyer, whatever the things that got in the way of him doing it. I almost think in the same way of with a player retiring, you want to get him, and it's a business.
Yeah.
Get that player out of there 1 year early than 1 year too late.
Yeah.
Let's hang on to him for this contract 1 more year, then make a decision too early. And then now, I mean, look at Kirk Cousins. In Atlanta. I mean, great for him. He made $100 million to now be the second string quarterback.
Yeah. Interesting. We'll probably never know the answer to that because that regime is long gone here in Jacksonville. Pat ran across an article, an NFL site called For the Win. They ranked now this is just their rankings. Worst to first, best looking, worst looking home NFL uniforms. You ready? We'll zip through some of these. They said the ugliest NFL uniform home, the Washington Commanders, they go 32.
Oh, sorry.
Commanders. 31, Tennessee Titans. Yeah, their helmet's kind of weird, right? That little flaming, the Titans helmet. Yeah, I don't love it. They said they have the next to worst uniform, home uniform. Cardinals, I could live with the Cardinals. Okay, a lot of red. The Falcons checked in at 29. They got the ATL on the front. Kind of looks a little park ballish to me. Falcons. This is this list. So they've got the Falcons at 29, the Texans at 28. So the AFC South, of which the Jaguars are in, they've got 2 of them in the top 5. The bottom 5 says the Navy helmets, Navy jersey, white pants. Totally fine, if unremarkable. Relative basicness of this uniform, they don't like it. At 27, they stay right in the AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They say Jacksonville is slowly improving their home uniform, and a quiet turn back toward the Prowler jerseys of 1990s is a great idea. The teal on teal, they hate. At least these aren't the dehydrated urine yellow of the team's color rush. Remember when the Jaguars did the color rush and they had those?
I didn't hate the teal, the all teal. I didn't hate it.
This list hates it. Yeah.
But that dehydrated yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah. So we won't go through it all, but man, they do not like the uniforms of the AFC South at all. Ooh, Not that matters, but let me see who they said was the best. Hold on, let me zip all the way to one. See who? Oh yeah, I like this uniform. This is who they have number one. I wish they had the total old one. The L.A. Chargers, baby. Those old San Diego Charger lightning bolts. I like them. I like the lightning bolt.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did. I love that powder blue.
Yeah,
that,
same here. Number two,
LA has. I love
number
powder blue.
number two best NFL home uniform. This is hard to argue. It's so crisp and so strong. The Steelers uniform, man. That black jersey, gold pants, that black and gold, just it pops, man. I like the Steelers uniform. What about you?
Yeah, I can't hate on it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's unique. They put those two colors together really well, and obviously that fan base.
Yeah.
Isn't Zach's a Steeler, isn't he? Yeah, Zach's our lone Steelers fan.
Yeah. They've got the Colts 3. I like the Colts home and road, both of them. I think they're all white, looks sharp. It's crisp to me. I do like the Colts, and the helmet with the horseshoe on it. I think that blue and white, much like the Dodgers, baseball home or road, I think that blue and white is crisp. I like the Colts uniform.
Yeah, going back to what you said about the Texans, and I agree, because if you're going to go red, white, and blue,
yeah,
you got to have something else that's going to make it a little, like they said, it's unremarkable. It's just
yeah.
Okay.
You're not going to like this, Pat. Number 4 best home uniform in the NFL, according to this list, the Cleveland Browns. Ugh. Cleveland's ugly uniform.
Who are these people? I need
it's
to make
an
a call.
NFL site called For the Win. I'm with you. The Browns, that's a bad uniform. I don't like number 5, the Buffalo Bills home uniform. I don't that bill. I want the old bill they had years ago on the side of the helmet. I don't like this red streak through the blue Buffalo. I don't like it. Pat, I don't like it.
You don't like the bill? It's okay.
No.
The bill,
Here's another classic, good-looking uniform. They rank as the 6th best home uniform. The San Francisco 49ers. That gold and red, to me, that pops.
Oh,
to me,
yeah.
I think
it's
that's
unique. They those are tough colors to really blend in together and make you look good, but they've done a fantastic job of that.
All right, Dolphin Ben Dobbins, who's producing today, he's not going to like this. They've got the Dolphin 7. I like the Dolphins, except I want the old helmet. I want the old logo. You agree, Ben? Yeah, Dolphins, I can live. I'm looking at their home right now with the teal. I don't like, you remember, Patrick, they went with more of a streamlined little Dolphin. What was that, 15 years ago, Ben, probably?
Like the JU?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I like Miami's old uniforms and that old helmet. I'd bring that sucker back. Yeah, I mean the
Larry. Miami would have went more. I wish they would have embraced the Miami Vice colors.
Nice.
Instead of
little pastel.
Would have been like Inter Milan, the soccer team.
Little South Beach pastel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 8, I don't agree with this. I think Green Bay, I know it's a traditional uniform. I think Green Bay's is bleh. The green, it just doesn't pop for me. Green Bay.
That's fair.
Ben, Green Bay.
You got to be a fan to really love that. Man,
yeah.
Did you watch the 30 for 30 on Brett Favre, by the way?
No, I don't think I did.
Highly recommend.
Really?
Yeah, man, those 30 for 30s, man, they if one's on and you got nothing to do,
yeah,
they start talking about stuff and you're like, dang, okay.
Yeah. Here's another uniform. The number 9 uniform, I don't agree with. This reminds me of the bland Houston one you pointed out a minute ago, Texans. The Chicago Bears. That dark blue, the dark blue helmet. I know it's traditional,
they're
but
at number 9.
They're at 9th best.
Man, honestly,
9th best.
They'd be in my bottom 20.
Yeah,
they'd be in my bottom 20.
I'm with you. Detroit is 10. Detroit with the blue and silver. I don't have a hard feel.
I don't have a hard feel because it's so unique. There's no one else that uses those colors.
Yes.
The silver dome. I think that's pretty dope.
I might put number 11. I might put a little higher. The Raiders. And you know, they kept the look. They got that silver helmet with the Raider thing looks cool.
Honestly,
black and silver, tough.
That'd be number one for me.
That might be.
I think Raiders are number one for me.
Dallas at 12. I like the traditional white. I never loved their blue jerseys they used to wear. Dallas at 12, best home uniform. Jets, this one doesn't do a whole lot for me. Jets on the side.
Yeah, don't you wish? I kind of wish the Jets. I know that's difficult. Would have played more into a logo kind of icon. I don't care if it's a jet. I don't care if a fighter jet. I think there's something else there, because then maybe they could have incorporated some gray, some dark with an actual. You're not going to make a green jet or a white jet. It's going to be a darker color.
Yeah,
like that could give them a little bit. I do like the Jets when they do the dark green.
All right, I'm going to give you number 14, and I'm curious to see. We're going through this list that was ranking the best and worst home NFL uniforms current. This one I like. I'm curious to see what you guys think. The purple of the Minnesota Vikings and the little horn on the side. I like the Vikings. I like the purple of the Vikings.
Now that you say it, I could probably go without the horn.
Okay.
Or maybe the horn or something different. I see what they're trying to do, so I give credit to that creative freedom of trying, like, you got the horn, you got the helmet on, like you're going into war. It'd be cool. It'd be cooler if the NFL was somehow kind of let them do like let's say a 1-inch kind of look like a horn on their helmet.
Yeah.
Just like a protrusion, a little protrusion. Have you ever seen Hellboy?
No.
It's he has horns, but a lot of the movie, his horns are shaved off. So it, like, you can tell he has them, but I just, that'd be cool to see on a helmet.
A couple more, and we'll get to the Jaguars, who are 17. What did I say, 17 on this list? No, 27. So a couple more, we'll be done with this in the second hour. I like the all-white Saints uniform. They're showing the black uniform. I think the Saints can do better than their black. I like their all-white and gold Saints. They've got them at 15. Yeah, you like the black as well? I do not like.
I think I like their black more.
I would have Cincinnati way lower than 16. They
got the worst.
Yeah, Cincinnati. That's a bad look. That's a bad look. Giants. The Giants at 17. They don't do a whole lot. NY on their helmet. Come on, do better than that. Giants. Nothing much. Kansas City. Kansas City, the arrowhead's pretty cool on the side of the helmet, but I don't know.
Yeah, the arrowhead's perfect. I wouldn't change the arrowhead.
I like the arrowhead.
Maybe a little too much red.
Yeah, could be. They've got the Buccaneers at 19. The Bucs should never get away from their original uniform that they had in 1976. They should always keep that. But that's just my opinion. The Ravens, I think, have an ugly uniform. I hate the Ravens. So the dark purple on dark purple. I hate their and the Raven bird looks funny to me always. That little bird on the side, that little Edgar Allan Poe bird.
It's not a chandelier. It's not a What we call it?
Chanticleer.
Feisty royal.
Yeah.
Rooster,
what was that?
Or something like that.
Yes. Here's a bad uniform. This should be below the Jaguars. Number 21, the Carolina Panthers. Bad uniform. This could be the worst in the league. The Panther logo's terrible. The blue and black, that's bad look if you ask me. A couple more.
They need a new logo. They need a new.
New England, they need to go back to the little guy snapping the ball on the side of the helmet. That helmet. That one better? The helmet they have, their modern helmet, I don't like the logo. I said we weren't going to go through them all. The Eagles, that uniform doesn't. The Eagles need to go back to the really green color, not this dark.
I love those. I love I love when they do that brighter green.
Yeah.
Original, man.
What do you think? I think the color combination of this next team is good. And I'm going to give you a trivia on this team as well. The LA Rams, what do you think of theirs? They're blue and gold. I like that color combination. The helmet's got the horn, the weird little horn.
No, I'm glad you bring them up. I was never a fan of the Rams in St. Louis's colors. I didn't like the gold
Yeah.
and that blue. And I honestly, I think I don't like this even more. I don't like the color. Maybe it's just how they're doing it, but it seems like loud color on loud color.
Yeah. I like you're kind of a fashionista, Patrick. I like it. I like the way you're adding in.
Their stuff's too busy.
Yeah.
It's too busy. More games and I might forgive them.
All right, we'll stop it here. But I'm going to give you a little knowledge about the Rams, and this will come in handy tonight if you're at trivia, tomorrow if you're at trivia. First NFL franchise to ever have anything on their helmet, any logo on their helmet, the LA Rams. The LA Rams, first logo on their helmet. They had a player back in like the 30s that had a little artistic touch to him. He was like studied art, and he asked the coach, could he paint something on a helmet? And he played for the Rams, so he put horns on there. How about that? If anybody asks you what franchise ever had the first logo on their helmet, you say the Rams, and you're going to win at trivia. How about that, Pat? How about that?
There we go.
How about that?
Trivia, Pat.
How about that? Yeah,
all the time.
we need that guy. We need that guy. All right, let's take a break here. We're off and running hour number 2. A lot of stuff to get to. Brent Beaird should be checking in pretty soon. He's Patrick Young. I'm Terry Norvelle. Ben Dobbins producing. It's the Young and Norvelle Show on Action Sports Jax.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jax Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jax Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jax Beach.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School. Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Will Olive, Mandarin High School. Go Stangs.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School. Tony Mazzio, Sandalwood High School, class of 2002. Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
The rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with We Are Martyr rolling off our tongues. Never will we roam, for we know our place is down. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing.
All right, we are back here. Terry Norvelle coming to you here from the studio. Patrick Young out and about dodging rain. Be careful out there. We've got Brent Beaird joining us soon. A lot of topics to get to before we get Brent on here. Let me get to some scores. Baseball starting to get fun. Some action going on. Bottom of the ninth, an afternoon game. Dodgers tied with Milwaukee 2-2. Top of the sixth inning, Philadelphia leading San Fran 2-0. And a couple other games. Top of the first, just getting going, no score. Tampa Bay and Detroit. That's been a fun series. Final early game. The White Sox get a win over Toronto. Wow, that'll help the Yankees and Tampa. So Toronto finally has, what do they have? A 10-game winning streak. 10-game winning streak. Thank you, Ben. Just got snapped by the White Sox of all people. Let me get some news and notes. I told you about the two walk-off. The inside the park home runs, one was a walk-on first inning yesterday. One was a walk-off 16th inning. Speaking of home runs, Cal Raleigh again, former Seminole catcher, hits his major league leading 36th home run. And Ben, I don't know if you're aware of this stat, the most home runs by anybody in the history of Major League Baseball before the All-Star break is 39. Barry Bonds. Cal Raleigh has 36 with 5 games left. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Aaron Judge sitting at 34. Ohtani 31. Speaking of Judge and Cal Raleigh, boy, if you're Major League Baseball, you hope those two make the playoffs. You would love, there's a nice little storyline. What if you have Seattle playing the Yankees in one of the playoff rounds, and you got Judge with 58 home runs and Raleigh with 60? You know, Raleigh's on pace for 65, and the American League record is 62 by Judge. Obviously, Bonds has the record at 73. But Cal Raleigh, another home run. What a first half he has had. Did you see where Ohtani hit his 31st off the have you followed the new flamethrower for Milwaukee? Mizorowski, I think. Young kid, throws it about 101. He's the new Paul Skeen, so calling him. Ohtani hit a home run off of him in the first, but he came back and struck out 12. He pitches for Milwaukee. Oh, Ben, did you hear about the troll that the Mets did to the Yankees last weekend? So, Yankees are playing at the Mets, a Subway Series. This one's in Citibank Field, home of the Mets. Supposedly, the Mets, they had some of their, I guess, AI people, their graphic people, I guess you'd say. They would go Jumbotron, and obviously there's Yankee fans in the Met Stadium, just like there are Met fans that are in the Yankee Stadium. When they would show a Yankee fan on the Jumbotron, they superimposed the Met logo on top of the Yankee logo. Oh, that made some people not happy. You know there's revenge coming, though. There's got to be some revenge coming. All right, let's do some sports history as well, this date in sports history. 1914. Ben, we take it way back. And this has been kicked around for years. This date, 1914, the Red Sox purchase the contract. They buy, because you couldn't move around free agency back then, they bought a player by the name of Babe Ruth. How about that? Who do you think Ruth, when you think Babe Ruth, you think Yankees. The Red Sox had Babe Ruth, and they ended up selling him. He found his way to the Yankees. How about that? How much history could have changed if the Red Sox didn't get rid of Babe Ruth? Speaking of inside the park home runs in the year 1932, Yankees had a player hit 2 inside the park home runs in one game. How does that happen? There's no fence out there? Is it like Little League? Remember those Little League days, don't you? No fence. You hope to hit it between 2 outfielders. Off you run. 1986, this date in sports history. Dale Murphy, Atlanta Brave great. A lot of people love Murphy because he was on TV all the time with the TBS Superstation. He had his consecutive game streak ended at 740. Here's a good one. NBA, this date, 1968. The first season MVP in the NBA was traded. How about this, Ben? The reigning MVP of the NBA in 1968, guy by the name of Wilt Chamberlain, you've probably heard of him, he was actually traded in the offseason from the 76ers to the Lakers. You don't see that very often. I guess one thing that was close was Luka. He wasn't the MVP, but close. Luka got traded. And finally, this date, 2017, not that long ago, the Thailand Women's Open. All right, women's golf, Ben, I know you like it. How about this? 2017, the Women's Thailand Open was won that year by a 14-year-old amateur. She had not even turned pro, and she won. Ben, the rest of that field, you got to kick them out for a year. You got beat by a 14-year-old. Got to kick them out, don't you? I think we do we have Brent Beaird? We do have Brent. Hey, Brent. Brent, you can see me. I can't see you, but I think you look handsome.
Yeah, how about that?
As normal.
And by the way, I have problems with Dale Murphy not being in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Would you say he really benefited from Ted Turner's Superstation? He was a good player for the Braves, but he was beloved. He was so clean cut.
So, well, he was Mormon for one thing, but Murphy in his prime he was on some bad teams.
Yeah.
And our friend Bill Shanks has held up a sign figuratively about Murphy being in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if that will ever happen.
Yeah.
But as far as what he did for that franchise and what he did for that city, he probably deserves to be in.
Yeah, and another thing that made him beloved, you mentioned it, when that TBS Ted Turner station was coming up, and all you could see were the Braves or the Cubs, right?
Sure.
You saw the Braves and the Cubs.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
the 1980s Brave fan that started seeing their team every night on TV, they were bad for a while. And Murphy was on some of those bad teams, and then he transitioned to the good teams.
Yeah.
So people felt like, man, this guy's paid his dues with these bad teams. Brent, we've got some college stuff to get to. I've got some things I want to throw your way. You've got some stuff as always. I know we've got a lot of time to do this before kickoff college football. Man, I was looking at Florida's schedule, and I was looking at Florida State's schedule. And Brent, I'll tell you one thing. I'm calling it the Big Four on the Gator schedule. They've got in a row starting Saturday, September 13th. Florida is at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
The following week, they're at Miami. They're off. Then they welcome Texas into Gainesville. Then they're gone again at Texas A&M. Brent Beaird, those 4 games could make or break not only the Gator season, but Billy Napier. And if Florida rarely wins at night in Tiger Stadium, if they lose to LSU on the road, they've almost got to go down to Miami and win, or their season could be done in 5-6 weeks.
Well, we talked about
God, that's a tough stretch.
The situation where Florida could sign a contract now for 2-2. With those 4 teams, I think they would do it, don't you?
I do too. If they go 1-3, their season's almost done. I mean, they would still have. Georgia's still going to be a tough game, man. At Ole Miss, Georgia neutral. If they're 1-3 coming out of those 4 games, it's hard to see them doing anything better than 7-5, 6-6, man.
Yeah. Well, I tell you though, if they can split that series. and they've only got 2 losses.
Yeah.
They're
Then you got a chance.
Their remaining loss probably would be Georgia in the cocktail party. And now they do go to a miss, and that could be really tricky.
Yeah.
But the reality is, Terry, I going on that, I could see them too at 9-3.
Yeah, 9-3, and then you got a chance. Then you throw your cards on the table and say, okay, I wish it was a 16-team playoff, but we'll throw our cards on the table at 9-3.
Well, here's my thing with that. I made this point with Brent Norworthy in Memphis, and he doesn't think it's going to happen. But so you don't know what this committee is going to do.
Yeah.
And if they're going to allow the strength of schedule proponent that we read about, Brandon Marcello had an article yesterday that talked about in August that they're going to be. They don't have the formats down yet, but the thing they're looking at is really taking seriously the strength of schedule.
Yeah.
And if they'd have done that last year, either Ole Miss, Alabama, or South Carolina, those teams would have been in.
Yeah. And I think you're a lot like me. I've heard strength of schedule is a component. It matters. It never has officially mattered. If it's not going to matter, take it out. If it's going to matter, if it's going to matter, there's got to be a point where 9-3 easily trumps 10-2.
Yes,
because it's the right. Now, Brent, I want to jump to and again, we've got another month and a half to do this before the season starts. Florida State, their schedule. I tell you, man, this FSU schedule, this could be fool's gold here.
Yeah, sure.
And what I say about this, Florida State's got an easy schedule. They could Florida State could be a not really good team and still piece together some wins. And Brent, I'm not so sure that's going to be good for the overall program. Does that make sense at all?
Sure it does. Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah, sure it does. Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've got on their schedule East Texas A&M, Kent State, Virginia's been a mess, Stanford's been a mess. Wake Forest has been a mess. Virginia Tech, I don't know what they are. NC State's giving them hell in Raleigh, but NC State's not what they were 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
No.
What I say by that is, if Mike Norvell's not the right guy, if he truly is not the right guy, and there are a lot of whispers now, hey, we may have the wrong coach, right?
Sure.
If he's not the right guy, you almost would rather swallow hard. And if he's not the right guy, 4-8 gets him out of there. 5-7 gets him out of there.
Oh yeah, easily.
But if he was to piece together because of the schedule 6-6, 7-5, well, he could stay alive and still not be the right guy. And is that better for or worse for the program?
Well, that's a good point. But if they have a winning season, I mean, the thing that's favorable to Norvelle is anything's better than 2-10.
Good point. Good point.
So if you're, I mean, you could be 6-6, and they may have a small party at that point. But look, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, you've got teams here, East Texas, A&M, good grief, A&M, Kent State. Virginia's not very good. Pitt, I think, is okay. Stanford's terrible.
Putrid, yeah.
Wake Forest, I think, is winnable. That they're not going to beat Clemson. This may be a better Virginia Tech than we have seen in quite some time. And NC State's always been a house of horrors for them. And then Florida right now, I think, significantly better than FSU.
I do too.
Frankly.
So I do too.
So Terry, if you're looking at logically, losses, Alabama, Miami is 2. I'm going to say Pittsburgh 3, Clemson 4, Florida's going to be 5. Now look, this is what we're talking about now. When you look at this logically, that's 5 already. That would put them at 7-5. You're 7-5. You're in danger of going 6-6.
Yeah. And historically, the last 5 years or so, they've slipped up against 2 teams they're not supposed to. Of the teams you haven't known. Sure. Anyway, we got a lot of time to look at that. I thought Brent Beaird had some interesting comments. And, Brent Beaird at Illinois, he's a war horse. He's been around. He's a veteran. He knows what he's talking about. He knows college football. He's one of the early guys I've seen. I don't know if you saw his quote, and I'm paraphrasing. Brent Beaird, when asked about, I think they're at Media Day.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
When he was asked about the House decision, NIL, and Brent Beaird, again, he has been around. He knows college football.
Yes, he does.
He thinks that the House decision and the incoming salary cap and all, he thinks that's great for the game and going to level the playing field. And you don't hear a lot of people say that. I kind of am in that boat.
I hope that's going to be the case.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's still too early to know that. But still, Terry, we can't keep this the way it is.
No, absolutely.
There got to be more guardrails here.
And they're coming.
Than what they do it. But I think they're coming too. They just can't talk about them now for another 5 years.
Yeah.
They've got to get something done.
I'm with you. But like we've been saying, the college fan, the college coaches, people that love college football, college athletics, we've got to let this thing mature. I've said it. I'm going to say it forever, and people are tired. The NFL didn't get it right immediately. The NFL took decades to get their salary cap right. They've taken decades to get their free agency right. They've got to let this mature. Along the same lines, I thought it was interesting, and you and I have wrestled with how to phrase what we're trying to say, but these first few years before everything's in place, it is kind of I think it's a player-friendly until the guardrails get in place. One guy said about the House vote and no regulations, they were talking about the Texas Tech lineman they just got to a multi-million-dollar deal. One of the people quoted said, that's going to quit happening soon because right now we're in the front-loading period. And I agree with that. Right? It's a player-friendly period right now that's going to end, but that guy got in under the front load before all the regulations got in.
Yeah, he did. Let me tell you something that I don't know if it's amusing or it's alarming.
Okay.
But the big money guy at Texas Tech is at the big money guy at Texas Tech is at Big 12 media days, making the rounds with the media.
Yeah, because he thinks he's a buddy with Trump. He thinks Trump's going to appoint him on a big committee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and obviously he's made a big difference at Texas Tech, and with the money he's put into the program. I guess it's just a sign of the times, Terry. A guy like that, I'm being facetious, but you get this. A guy like that 5 to 10 years ago, security would have ushered him out.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, they would have.
He could have never gone to credential.
I've got him noted here on my notes I wanted to bring up, and he's also a guy, he's part of that front loading that I don't think 3 to 5 years from now, he will not be able, he'll have to do it under the table and hopefully get caught. He won't be able to structure that deal because we are in the front loading period. They don't have all the rules. He came out and said, and I'm going to qualify this under let college football mature. It's got to mature, this new college football. He came out and said, his name's Cody Campbell, I think. He said he wants to save college football / college sports. And my answer, come back to that is, save it from what? Yes, it needs some guardrails, but the players in every sport are happy. You think women's softball never got a dime? Some of those girls are getting some money. You think they're not happy? You think gymnastics aren't happy? All the players are happy. I'm like, what are you saving it from? You know, and the numbers, the quantitative numbers, Brent. There's nothing wrong with college football or sports. The quantitative numbers say it has never been more popular. So when is it supposed to collapse?
Yeah, well, the reality is, college football for the time you and I've been covering it have been trying to save the sport from the Cody Campbells for decades.
I agree.
Is what it amounts to. But see, guys like that, they think they're the answer because
Yeah.
they've got money to give to the sport.
Yeah.
Look, that's got to be handled better than what it is now.
Yeah, and he's being called a bit of a hypocrite because he's now saying he wants to get in there and help fix college football, and people are going, well, wait a minute. Right now, you're part of the problem with college football. You have no guardrail, so you're just giving away money. Obviously, that's not going to continue to happen. But yeah, it's kind of weird. He's speaking out of both sides of his mouth. But if you really step back, I would ask that guy, show me why putting guardrails in. I get that's got to happen. It's going to mature, but there's really nothing to fix. College football has never been more popular. I can't emphasize that enough. Never, all the quantitative TV numbers, attendance numbers, it's never. So, Brent, the sky is falling down, college football is going to die. I always ask them, well, when's it going to happen? You've been saying that now for 5 years, and it's gotten progressively stronger. It's gotten better.
Well, the magical number for TV now is, for television, is 4 million viewers. That's what everybody wants.
That's the number. Yeah, that's the number.
But I mean, you had games last year that, I mean, like Alabama, Georgia, were 13 million.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 3 times 4 million. So we're getting progressively more and more.
Yeah.
From 10 million and above. So that's your evidence is that people are going to watch it. And I tell you this, with these ticket prices rising the way they are, there are going to be a lot of people who finally say, look, I've had enough. I'm done. I'm just staying home and watching it. Which is going to make those TV numbers rise even more.
Well, Brent, I know you and I, gosh, I get parking and media passes, and you and I go, I go to less and less games every year on purpose. Yeah, sure. I was looking at the Gator games I'll go to this year. I'll go to Texas. That's kind of, you've never seen Texas roll in, one or two more maybe. And, I'll go to Florida, Georgia. That's kind of a tradition. But yeah, it's a battle. It's a battle to go to the games, and we have a lot of stuff at our advantage. It's not like we're walking 10. Anyway, a couple more things you may have before we take a quick break.
Well, obviously, media days
next
for the Big 12 is going on now. The media days is for the SEC starts Monday. I think probably what's the big headline going to be overall? I mean, it's a number of things, but I do think there will be a lot of discussion about, does the SEC stay at 8 or do they go at 9? And that's one of those things they've got to deal with. I don't think, unless we get something really happen over the weekend, that they're going to be ready to talk about any kind of format yet. Maybe we're hoping in the next few weeks that will certainly be brought up. One of the things too is, and I think this is legitimate, what coach is going to be on the hottest seat? Well, I don't think it's even Sam Pittman. I think it's Hugh Freeze.
I do too. He's catching a lot of bad press right now, isn't he? A lot of bad. Yeah.
They are 79. Get this, Terry. They are 79th in recruiting. 79th at this date. And Frank, amazingly, the last time Auburn had a winning season was 2020 when they went 6-4.
And it's ironic that Freeze is catching a lot of bad PR all over the South, especially, and they're saying he's playing too much golf. And we brought this up last week. There's another coach that was accused of playing a lot of golf named Steve Spurrier. Yeah. Well, Steve Spurrier had 12 years at Florida where he played a lot of golf. Yep. In 12 years, he lost 22 games total.
That's right.
I think, and a bunch of those were to Alabama and Florida State. I mean, exactly. But Hugh Freeze doesn't have that, and he's catching a lot of bad PR. Some of the topics I think will be big in the SEC next week for media days. I think Arch Manning will be big. the Arch Manning story. What you just said, 8 or 9, or you got to figure it out. And college football has to figure out 8 or 9. It needs to be consistent. Conference games. I think Texas will be a big story because I think for the first time in 100 years, the media is going to pick somebody not named Georgia and not named Alabama, number one.
I agree with that. I think that's going to happen too.
That'll be a big story, I think.
It will be. And even though Arch Manning, look, and I get this. I understand the Arch Manning hero worship to a little bit.
Yeah.
Arch Manning, and I think he's going to be great when he starts. But let's be honest, Arch Manning has done nothing to allow people any evidence that he's going to be a Heisman Trophy winner.
I'll tell you another story. I think I'm with you on Arch. I think he's going to be good, but I think it's a little in front of your skis a little bit right now.
Yes.
Last thing, we'll take a break. I'll let you get your final thoughts together during the break. We'll come back and wrap things up. I think a story that'll break, that'll get a lot of talk, especially on their day. And I want to credit our buddy Chris Doering. It looked like Chris Doering talked about either today or yesterday. He was on a show and he made a statement about DJ Lagway and not throwing. Doering has intimated Lagway may have had a reoccurring hernia issue, and that's why they might have kept him out. We don't have Dr. Bates because he's on vacation. I'd normally have him on today and ask, would that be if you had a hernia, and your hernias are in your groin area kind of, and your lower abdomen. I guess that's plausible. You wouldn't want your guy throwing and torquing your body if you've got a hernia. But I think that's going to be he's going to get asked about that. Why didn't you throw? Can you throw? How's your throwing?
Right. And I'm glad he's going. They would have caused a firestorm if they had not involved him.
True.
Now, I will say this. I've had hernia surgery.
Oh.
Yes. And when you have, and listen, when you got a hernia, Terry, it affects every part of your body, and it affects everything you do.
Wow. As we break, Brent, get your notes together. We'll have a few minutes on the other side. Want to welcome to the world. This happened over the weekend, I think. Tim Tebow and his wife, Demi. They had their first child, Daphne Rain Tebow. Looks like that's the name. It looks like a healthy daughter. So congratulations to Tim and his wife. How about that?
I think Tim and his wife will handle that well. But my stars, Terry, can you imagine being Tim Tebow's child and having the pressure on you to really be a star athlete?
Yeah, I was about to say, in a weird way, is it good? It's not a little boy. I mean, you know what I mean about that, because they'd be asking Tim. His first press conference in about a day, probably. Tim, has he made a commitment yet? Who's he committed to?
Right.
Yeah, really. Tim, and can you tell, is he right-handed or left-handed?
Really?
All right, Brent, let's take a break. We'll come back, have about 10 minutes left. We'll wrap some final thoughts if you've got something on the other side. Brent Beaird, Terry Norvelle, and you coming back right here on the Young and Norvelle Show on Action Sports Jack.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jags PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
This has been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jags Pal.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jags Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jags Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jags Beach.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Back into it. Final segment here. Terry Norvelle coming to you. We got Brent Beaird still on. Got a few things we want Brent to share with us as we wrap up a Hump Day edition. Let me tell you real quick about the Jacksonville Basketball Academy. Camp's still going on through early August. If you've got a basketball player in your life looking to improve their game, boy or girl, grade school, third grade, all the way through high school, they've got a camp designed to improve the basketball skills of that basketball player in your life. Check them out. Just Google them at JacksonvilleBasketballAcademy.com. Coach Martin does a super job. Coach Jim Martin, probably the most accomplished basketball coach we have here in our area in the high school level for sure. JacksonvilleBasketballAcademy.com. Brent Beaird, a couple things maybe before we get out of here. Before I go to football, though, if you've got it, you're a Braves fan. We talked Braves a moment ago. Boy, what a mess they've had. Their season's over, and we're at the All-Star break, basically.
Well, and the shame of it is you remember they really righted the ship a few years ago during the trade deadline and bringing some guys in that really put them over the edge. But their injuries have just been absolutely ridiculous. Their staff is down to basically Spencer Strider, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Even with Acuna coming back, there's only so much he can do.
And their middle relief pitching has just murdered them too. They just
And the thing about it, that their biggest problem among many is, and this has been going on for 2 or 3 years, and they even changed hitting coaches.
Yeah,
is they, for the life of them, cannot hit guys in when they're on base.
No, got to get runners in scoring position. Huge stat in Major League Baseball, especially when runs are a premium. Brent, going to see if you've got a couple things on your notepad before we get out of here on a Wednesday. Really looking forward to next week when a lot of stuff starts coming out of media days.
There's no doubt about that. And now, one thing I did want to to talk about was the guys who are going to Atlanta. The thing that's interesting me, one of the first times Alabama, for instance, does not have a quarterback going.
How about that?
That is interesting. Now Gunnar Stockton is going from Georgia, but obviously he doesn't have a lot of experience. Gee, Terry, they didn't bring Calzada in from Kentucky going into their 7th year.
Oh man!
Now Garrett Nussmeier will be there. He'll be a star. I'm a tad surprised, but I'm kind of proud of Lane. They didn't have to bring Austin Simmons because he's a sophomore, and that would have been an excuse.
Yeah.
But they're bringing him anyway. Missouri without Brady Cook, they're not bringing him. John Mateer, who we've heard a lot about, is going. So is Lenore Sellers. And maybe as much as anybody, Tennessee doesn't have a quarterback going for the first time, and who knows when. Neither does A&M. Now, one thing I am proud of is Diego Pavia is going.
Yeah.
So that'll be a lot of fun. Sometimes it's just as fascinating to see who's not going to media days as it is who's going.
I tell you, your boy Pavia from Vanderbilt, he's and last year in an unconventional way, he backed it up a pretty good bit. He's got a lot of checks to make sure he's got cash in the bank to cover this year, right? He's written a lot of checks with his mouth.
Yeah.
I like him, but I'm not sure that Pavia magic follows him this year. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, it will be interesting. I mean, they won a lot of games. They probably should have lost, but you still give them credit.
Yeah.
To be able to do that too. So, but Clark Lee would do a good job, I believe. You still got guys. We mentioned Sam Pittman. We mentioned Hugh Freeze. I don't want to say it, but heaven forbid. Look, and this is for another day, frankly. But if Napier Terry, if they're 5-7, is he gone? I would almost say that this. Look, this is supposed to be the best team they've had under Napier, and frankly, it's not even close.
I in terms of roster talent, I agree. Totally agree. Not even close. And yes, I would think he would be gone if they go 5-7. I've got to believe that a couple of those games will be squarely on him. That would tell me he probably hasn't cleaned up his act. And I think the most important person around the Florida football program that has to have improved their game in the offseason is not a quarterback, it's not a running back, it's not a defensive back, it's the head coach, game manager.
Oh, yeah.
If they go 5-7, he's probably made some knucklehead, questionable calls. Brent, I want to get back. I know you got some other stuff really quick before you get some more of your topics in. The SEC Media Days. They are in Atlanta this year, right?
Yes.
They've obviously the home for years has been Hoover.
Yes.
And it was in Birmingham proper there for a while, wasn't it?
It was.
My first ones ever were in the actual downtown Birmingham by the arena. Right there.
Yep,
so
exactly.
Let's just call Birmingham Hoover 1, and that's been the home of SEC Media Days.
Mm-hmm.
They've strayed to Atlanta, and last year it was in Dallas, right, to kind of take a nod to Oklahoma, Texas, I think it was.
And they've also been in Nashville.
And Nashville. With that being on the table, could you ever see a day where it's such a big economic boost, the SEC Media Days, it's a full week with a great economic boost. You ever see it going around like the NFL now? Could you ever see it going to the schools, to the, Gainesville one year? Man, I'd like to pay off the schools a little bit. Go to Gainesville one year. Go to Baton Rouge one year.
Yeah.
I wonder,
Well, my concern is where they're going would not be to the schools, but where they're going is trying to make a splash. I mean,
big cities,
yes,
yeah.
And that really concerns me. SEC Media doesn't need to go to LA. It doesn't, and But I bet you one year they go to Vegas.
Yeah.
The last place in the world they need to go right now is New York City.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or something of that ilk.
See, I would rather, I think, and I get it, space and all, and there's a bunch of people, and, but all these college towns in the SEC, they all got their indoor basketball, and, they would have space. They could figure it out, I think. But I would rather SEC Media Days be in Athens, Georgia one year than Atlanta, Georgia. I would rather it be in Tuscaloosa, Alabama one year than Dallas. I would rather it be in Gainesville, Florida one year than Miami, Florida. But I don't think it'd ever go to the little school. But I think it'd be great for the small little campus towns too. Boy, that'd be a football weekend.
Well, and I'll tell you what, when the stadium is built here and that infrastructure downtown is,
why wouldn't you?
Done,
yeah. Why wouldn't you bid on
it? It ought to be here in Jacksonville at some point.
Why wouldn't you bid on it?
I agree. Yes. It would be amazing, frankly. And see, look, it belongs in Jacksonville, but yes, it belongs in Jacksonville before you take it to Las Vegas.
Yeah, before Las Vegas or even Tampa or so. That would be something. All right, Brent, your last few notes. Anything we need to be aware of before we get you back on Friday?
Have you seen this? Have we talked about the NCAA allowing schools to have patches on their jerseys?
I don't know. It was on our notes. I don't know if we got to it, but yeah, that's been pretty much LSU pushed it, right? I think. Talk about it.
Well, what we've got now is we've got patches on the field.
Yes.
And signs on the field for the, either for the school or for patches as far as advertisers. Now, where we're going is you're going to have patches on the jerseys.
Yes.
And that's just a matter of time.
Revenue source. It's just a revenue source. Yeah.
Terry, that's the easiest thing they could do as a revenue source.
Very easy.
The other one would be playing 9 SEC games.
Yeah.
But I mean, now what they've got to be careful of, you don't want a college football jersey looking like NASCAR.
Yeah, and I'm all for that. I'm okay with the patches, but I would probably mandate 2 on the front, and no bigger than 4 by 4 inches or something. I would kind of mandate that a little bit. But has the NFL gone? I know the NFL. Do they have, other than Nike or Reebok? Do they have patches on any of theirs? Ben, do you know that? NFL doesn't, do they?
No.
I know the NBA does, because the proud tradition-rich Boston Celtics, watching them in the playoffs, they have some patch company, and the color scheme's totally different than their color. It sticks out. It's weird. But the NBA definitely has patches, or they have the right to. Yeah. All right, Brent, anything else?
I think some other things too.
And we know the committee's meeting again to talk about 4-4-2-2-2-1-3-4-5-5-11, whatever the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, and this can be brought up again at media days.
Sure.
I'm going to be interested to see where Sankey, how he deals with that. By the way, win totals have been a popular thing this week.
Okay.
For the SEC, Alabama, Georgia 9.5, Texas 9.5, LSU 8.5. I won't go into everybody. Florida 7.5. For Mississippi State 3.5. Vandy is 5.5, better than Arkansas at 5, Kentucky at 4.5, and Mississippi State at 3.5. Oh my!
Boy, I tell you, man, Mississippi State, and it was just a tragedy and just a sad situation. He went way too young, but man, losing your coach to passing away, it's so hard to come back from, and. It wasn't like Mike Leach was really ill, and you're preparing for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I tell you one thing: if Leach was still alive, he could actually bring a lot of common sense to the issues facing college football right now.
Yeah, he could. But boy, I tell you, They weren't winning the SEC, but they were a quality program. They could beat your butt. They were good. And again, man, I mean, he died. If there was a sickness and illness and your administration kind of knew it, you kind of prepare for it a little bit. It's just like a loved one passing with no warning. You know, it's just, and boy, it has knocked that program back, man.
It really has. Oh yeah. And Terry, I really don't know if they are going to recover from it anytime soon either. And by the way, we'll go into this later, but I know Brent Murphy posted the ACC exit fees. I thought that this was interesting. If you want to get out of the league right now, in 25 and 26, it's $165 million.
How about that?
Now think about that a minute. Then in
Brent, we got 20 seconds, Brent, quickly.
Yeah, $75 million for 20, 30, and 31. What a difference that makes, right?
FSU and Clemson won that battle. He's Brent Beaird. He'll be back Friday. We'll be back tomorrow, 4 o'clock, for the Thursday edition live from Sliders of the Young and Norvelle Show right here on Action Sports.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jags Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jags Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jags Beach.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Will Olive, Mandarin High School. Go Stangs.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School.
Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School.
Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
The rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with We Are Martyr rolling off our tongues. Never will we roam we know our place is out. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing.